Hello, fellow humans. Welcome to Marseille. Here we are. We're in Marseille today. Today is Saturday, and it is an overcast day in Marseille, but we're upbeat and ready to go. In fact, I see a US. I thought it was a NASA shirt. Look what I'm wearing. This is how it gave me. So I'm supporting my colors. NASA lies. NASA mentira. All bodies of water at rest are level. Earth is flat. Earth is flat, my friend.
Why it's not flat?
Why it's not flat?
Yeah.
Because is the moon flat?
That's what the word means.
We don't really know what the moon is, but the moon's got nothing to do with the Earth. All we know is
the universe is behaving this way.
Well,
And
that's what
why would the moon be round and not the Earth? And we can see other planets.
on a pool table, all the balls are round, but yet the pool table is flat. So you don't presume that the pool table is round because the balls are round. Because what's up there is completely different from what's down here. And when you try and observe a curve, you can't find one. When you measure
the ball is too big, so you cannot see the.
That's what we're
But
told.
if you take
That's
the
what,
plane.
do you know what the equation is for the Earth's curvature?
No, I don't know.
It's 8 inches per mile squared. So you can test that. So like say 20 miles, there should be like a 200-foot drop.
Maybe you should try from a plane, and you.
Yeah, but do you know there are pilots that say that the Earth is flat?
Yeah, understand? No, we can't see so far. We just can't, we shouldn't, but we see it so far. So what they teach us is wrong. This formula is incorrect. Even the picture is incorrect. It's not a real picture. But it's very big. The Earth is very big. It's so big that they tell you that it's 24,000 miles diameter. That's it. It's much bigger. That's how they teach us. So we find out that it's wrong. That it's lie. So why the lie? We don't have any real pictures of Mother Earth, man. And you think that you have, by the Hubble, pictures of stars and their galaxies, that they are real, and you don't have one real picture of Mother Earth? 60 degrees of 0 point, you cannot go. You will be stopped in every direction. So every time they go, they do around the world circles, they do it east from to west, yeah, or west to east. That's better. And they will do a circle, and they will think that they are cruising around the world. Never, they did it. Never north.
That's what we're moving right now.
Never.
So this proves to us that we know what we know. The common sense is that water is level and that the Earth is not moving. That the sun and the sky are moving above us, and so are the stars. At Earth projection like this make a lot more sense. There are a lot more straight lines than on a globe. We go up from South Africa, they fly up here and then down here, you know, which is a funny dog's leg on a globe, but it's almost a straight line here. Same with South America flights, you know, they never come like this. They always go up here and then come down like this. It makes no sense on a globe. On a flat Earth, yes, you can see why they might not be able to reach these places. So there's a lot of things that fall apart about the globe when you start to unpick.
I heard you guys did some kind of expedition. You planned some kind of expedition to go to the edge of the Flat Earth Society decided to do.
The Flat Earth Society is a government thing, really. The Flat Earth Society belongs to, they try and push this idea that we're on a disk, and the disk is rising at 9 meters a second, which accounts for gravity. No one in the Flat Earth who's serious about researching Flat Earth would give that any credence, because, you know, we can't prove these things. The only thing we're trying to say is that we can't prove that we're on a globe.
Government education, we have you believe you are a Darwinian monkey, barely evolved, but in fact you are the source, you are the creator, you are the center of creation. Actually, Earth demonstrates that water is always level.
Yay! So I'm only doing 4 minutes of that. That's 8. There's actually 8 minutes to go. There's another guy there. He wants to sit. He wants to pop in as well. Let's add him. There he is. His name isn't Adam. I just said let's add him. Right there, buddy.
I think it's Sven. Oh, it's Sven, the man.
Oh,
Yes, payments to be made to the following account number, please.
Right, so we have thank you very much for that, James. There's 8 minutes of that, so if you haven't watched it, you can watch it by yourselves, or I'm going to play the other half at the end of tonight.
sorry to James and all those watching that I messed up my live today. I was living, and then I was like, gee, no one's joining my thing today. That's starting to kind of get, after half an hour, I was like, shit, I've really lost my mojo here in Marseille. But I'd run the stream as an unlisted stream, so no one could see it. So I dropped that afterwards, and then I did another about 45 minutes of offline interviews on camera that I put in later, and James may not have seen all of those, but there were one or two really good conversations. So sorry about that, guys.
Just by the way, Dave's going to get up and down. It's because Alexander's in our little cabin and he seems to fall for various requirements. Now it's water and it could be something else. So if Dave gets up and down, he's going to take care of Alexander.
So anyway, what was the trip like going to Marseille today? What was that like?
Awesome.
Jack, come tell them about your parking. Come tell
Whoa.
Sven,
Oh,
Sven,
do I want to hear?
No, his parking was just.
You smashed it out the park today.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Well,
Is everyone
the
all
video,
right?
the van's actually in shot. I mean, we could see the van from where we were on stand today, and we were parked right on the beachfront. People again said, "Look, you're going to get towed away here," you know.
Yep.
But no, we had a really chilled morning this morning. I have to say, Andorra was pretty hairy driving out of there, as I said last night on the live. But this morning we woke up to a very beautiful scene. I took a video of it. Again, that's on my channel. We were looking over the sea, sun rising, moon moving away from us, and just a beautiful, beautiful morning. Time for Alexander to get his feet dirty and run around, chase bubbles, and Lisa did a bit of stretching. Andrea had some time for some sun gazing. So it was a really nice start for us this morning, and a fairly easy drive into Marseille.
Bearing in mind we were up at 6.
Alexander gave us an early call this morning.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's just 2 and can wake up whenever he likes.
Yeah.
What's the weather like there where you guys are? Is it okay there? Is it mild or?
Well, this morning it was just the south of France. We were just into the south of France. It was the sun was shining. It was really nice. As we left, it sort of clouded over.
Yeah,
and then
It was a
Marcel.
lot nicer than the day before.
Yeah.
Oh, it was nicer. It was no rain, just in the end a little.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, Marseille was a little overcast, but the temperature was good.
Yeah.
And it only rained towards the end. You may hear now there's lots of noise in the van. It's pouring with rain. We're just outside.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Can you hear that?
Wow.
Wow. That's heavy.
I'm just putting in what's it? Monte Carlo.
Echoes of England.
Monte
It's gonna be hard to hear you.
Yeah, so it's absolutely hammering down in Monte Carlo at the moment. I'm just trying to see what it's going to be like tomorrow.
If it's any consolation, it's been raining all day here in England as well.
That doesn't help.
Certainly down the south.
That just makes us feel better, Sven.
That's it. That's all it does. We try to share in the pain the best we can.
It is. You didn't have to go all that way to have bad weather. You can just stay here.
Could have just stayed here.
Yeah. Now you meant to have a bit of a. Oh no, it's rain tomorrow. Rain and cloud tomorrow.
It's raining very hard, so you're going to have to do sign language so that we understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that's it.
We can't hear you because it's raining very, very hard.
Yeah, look, we might be deaf, but we're not stupid.
Whereabouts are you? Are you sort of closer to Monaco than you are Marseille, or what? Or are you halfway, or?
Can you see the rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, that they're gonna not think that we're staged.
Yeah, this isn't a rain stage in Hollywood on a back lot. In fact,
No.
it seems like I think Jack has parked us on the side of the globe. I think we've reached the side of the globe because the van is tipping dangerously forward.
Of course. I hope you had the handbrake on.
Well, yeah, we've got the handbrake on, but we are partially around the globe now, so
right.
We're obviously on the downward leg.
Is the rear part of the van experiencing less spin than the front part of the van? Is that what we're saying here?
Oh, gravity is actually having to pull the front of the van a little harder because obviously the back of the van is still right up on the top of the ball, and the front of the van is over the edge, so it needs to be held tight.
Yeah.
That's how gravity works.
So so the latitude and longitude of the toilet area is about your safest bet then, I guess.
Now you bring up the toilet, make me think of Mark Sargent. His picture on the toilet things.
Well, maybe that wasn't the greatest idea then. Yeah.
It's an etching memory that'll linger with me for a long time. But Marseille was a good day. You know, we had some really good conversations. A good setup. You know, no hassle from any sort of authority figures. And yeah, some really interesting conversations. I think the one that caught my eye on that little clip of video was the one that Lisa was having with a young lady, and I was talking to the young lady's counterpart, her friend. I thought Lisa handled that conversation exceptionally well, and you know, her delivery is right on point with that one, and then her friend was like a perfect example of why we should be doing this, because they were young ladies, and the friend was like pierced in all the cheeks, nose, septum, you name it. She had piercings all over her face, and very anti the system, wearing a dirty pair of shoes, and just, you know, total, you know, we're a scourge on. She hates the system, but she thinks that she and all other humans are the problem, and she's not going to have a child. She's only 20 few years old, something like that, and she's already decided that there's no reason to bring a child into this world. And I said to her, you know, the system you hate has actually beaten you because they've given you this idea that you are the problem rather than actually the center of everything. The system wants us to be demeaned and diminished. So I really enjoyed the conversation with her, although I didn't get her to, you know, change her mind at this point in time. Hopefully planted some seeds. How about your conversation with that girl? Did you enjoy that one?
It was good, except the stream cut out halfway in between, and that kind of ended the conversation because I was trying to get the stream up. But everything before then was like, but still, she wasn't convinced. You know, she's got her own opinions, but she said she would look into it, I think, in the end.
Yeah, no, they were laughing and scoffing and sniggering at the beginning of the conversation.
To begin with, the reason I spoke to her in the beginning is because they were laughing. I said, "Why do you think it's funny? Tell me what's going on there." And that's how the conversation started. So considering they were so skeptical, at least they started to listen.
Were they easy to talk to, the people down there?
Oh yeah.
We found them easy to talk to.
It was a lot of people who just passed through.
The local guy that came to see us, the French American guy that came at the end, who
Max.
We had a flat earther come and visit from Marseille.
He said that people in Marseille are more open-minded than Paris, for example.
So we've got that port town vibe going on again, haven't we? Like we did in Lisbon as well. You know, the port town, the proper port towns.
A bit like that.
Yeah, it was a bit like that. It had that kind of same feeling.
Maybe a little less cosmopolitan from an English-speaking point of view, but certainly open feeling. And I think, as Max was saying, the people are kind of anti-government quite strongly. So things
they have yellow vest protests in Marseille. But he interestingly said about the yellow vest protests is that it's all the trouble is really one small little group that come and use the protests as an opportunity to cause trouble. Really, most people are just there to protest peacefully, the yellow vest protest. So and he said it was happening even today. Did he say it was today or yesterday? and we had no idea really that it was going on. So at the harbour, it was quite chilled, and people were quite. There was a market going on, and people were quite happy, really, in a French sort of a way.
Well, interestingly, when we first arrived, there's this Ferris wheel where we thought we might stage it from, like a central point, but that was also a point where there was a lot of police and stuff, and I think that, I think Jack and I both felt that we would far less likely to get harassed by people in clown suits if we parked up just a little bit down the road and set up there, and we had great footfall, so we were happy where we were.
Good.
I do have a little clip that I'd like to show, because Lisa mentioned it before. I think somebody else mentioned it as well, and I haven't seen it myself, so I'd like to watch this and maybe get your take on it. And it was the Gold Man. So was it an interesting conversation or not, or is it worth?
Well, I think he just wanted he wanted to be the star of the show. He was just straight away, is the camera on? Great, I'm there. And then he was just like ranting his opinions down the camera.
Right.
Camera, actually. So,
yeah.
It didn't seem to want to stop.
Let's have a quick look and see if I've got the right one, which I probably haven't.
Can I just say hi to Effie Mowry, Clive Albert, Ricardo, and Vertec, and Kieran. Thanks again for all your support, guys. Mark Sargent, I saw was in the chat a few minutes ago. I'm not sure if he's still around, but hello, Mark. Thanks again for all your support, mate.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Here's the thing. I got asked today by Max, because this guy Max who came to join us said, his brother said to me, his brother came down, and I had quite a long interview with him, I think, on one of my videos, and they've been arguing or disagreeing over the flat Earth, and so he wanted to hear some of the arguments. But he said to his brother, "Yeah, but you didn't even want to come down here because you don't trust these guys necessarily. Aren't agents? They aren't what's the word he used? Not trolls, whatever." And shills. And he actually said, I see, and I see you've got Mark Sargent's picture on the van and stuff, and and he's a shill. And I said, well, that's not how I see it. I met Mark. He seemed like a really decent dude, and everything that he's doing is to, as far as I can tell, to promote the greater awareness, which is exactly what we're doing. He's been supportive of activism, both in terms of getting out there in the street himself and proactively supporting what we're doing financially and in other ways. So as far as I can tell, a lot of that kind of shill talk is sort of that built-in fear programming that's designed to prevent people like him or me or anyone else from actually doing stuff because we mistrust the people around us. And I know part of my story to getting back on the tour, as it were, or getting back more involved was, the realization that the fears that I'd built up, that I was swimming in a pool of sharks, had prevented me from getting out and doing what I felt was in my heart was the right thing to do. So I said that to Max, and hopefully put his mind to rest, that I think that in the main people are all working towards the same thing, and that is to get this truth spread more widely, and let it lead where it may. I think that there's far too great a thing here going on for us to be concerned about the system and CIA and all these other sorts of things.
Yeah, get on with your own. Just concentrate on what you're doing yourself. Mark is definitely not a shill. He might be an agent, but he's not a shill. But he's.
Well, Jason, we were there that evening when he flashed his ID card.
He did. He flashed the wrong card by mistake.
He did. At our table.
Yeah.
Was that the gold card?
It was the membership for what was it for again? Flat Earth Society.
You twat.
gold membership.
Yeah, no, that did.
But we did have a laugh at that and a giggle, and we took some photos, so we have the evidence and the proof.
This is it, you know, like he's having a bit of fun with you guys. Come on, you know, like he's done so much for for our cause, you know. He couldn't do any more. He couldn't give any more for what he's done, you know. Like so, like you just I think it's the people. Look in the mirror, decide yourself what it is that you guys are doing. And then, you know, before you throw any stones at somebody else, you know, just look in the mirror and decide. Guy's doing amazing, you know.
You judge a man by his fruit and by his labor, and you know, by his output. And I think if there's any people in the room, in any room, that can say they've done more for this awakening, then let them stand up, and then I'm sure they'll know that Mark's a massive contributor to what we've got going on. So.
When Dave confronted himself about not trusting people, I said it's about trusting yourself, because you know you've got to trust that you can judge someone's character. You know, I think that the problem sometimes is we're stuck behind keyboards and you're not looking a man in the eye. But yeah, I think you've got to use your discernment, and you'd hope that, you know, with the whole flat earth truth, that you'd start to reconnect to your trust, your knowing, and your discernment. So yeah, we just got to,
and also not fearing this so-called system, you know, the so-called peace, because if it is in the pool, then what are you going to do? Are you going to prepare and to do your swim for yourself, or are you just going to stand there and tread water and go, oh, there's sharks in the pool? Well, I'm choosing the former. You know, and I encourage everybody else to do that. But, you know, I mean, in the case of Mark, I've looked the man in the eyes. He's just a regular dude.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Doing amazing things, as far as I'm concerned, amazing things to spread this awareness. So, you know, the worst that people can say is, oh, he didn't say a certain thing right, or he made, some people made fun of something. Well,
we're all guilty of that.
That I would say differently, or maybe, you know, people aren't going to agree with the things that I'm saying, and that's the way it is. And are people going to make fun of this flat Earth? Absolutely. You know, a guy who I follow quite a lot, Bro Sanchez. You know, he's like, well, these guys that are out there, you know, getting contact with the newspaper, then they must be a shill. Well, I disagree. You know, I think that if people have had, I see Robin lifting the lid is in the chat, and I think people like him who have the kind of nous to go around and generate that kind of contact like Roxanne did last year with the Guardian, doesn't make them a shill. And because the Guardian take the piece and they don't deal with it as seriously as we would like, doesn't make it a wasted process or contribution to getting this word out on the street. Because at first we know people are going to have to mock this, you know. People are only going to be willing to kind of talk about this in laughing kind of tones. So when people come and take a video of us and they're laughing, and it's you know, they're going to put that on their social media and say, look at these troglodytes who think that the Earth is flat. That comes with the territory. I'm afraid that we have to go through that period of people initially laughing, and then in time they will take it more seriously. But for now, you know, the coverage that we can get, however we get it, does not make us shield. It's people doing their best to raise this awareness in whatever way we can.
Absolutely.
Although Sven did come out of nowhere, and we've only just met him, and he just appeared. We haven't seen your
listen, the way he snores, there's no way.
There's no way a shield could snore.
Is that how you come to destroy the door? Is that what it is? You just infiltrate the door with your snoring.
Snore infiltration. Yeah, it's a new tactic.
No, I think during training they would have said, look, we're going to have to weed this one out, because there's no way they'll put up with him on the bus with that level of snoring.
No, absolutely.
No,
if he was I know. I think the snoring was a cover. I think it was. You know, there's no ways that some sort of superior agent.
Well, I did have. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Did you read what he just wrote? Excellent, nice one. You're all in cahoots together, you lot.
Why was
Um,
there we go.
Well, the word twin starts with the same letter as shill and snore. So I think those three S's together and the three makes that certain that you're an agent. There's enough clues there for anyone to see that you're an agent.
I think there was evidence that he's a woman.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, at least not with the gay thing. We're not talking about the gay thing.
Well,
I'll bring my name into it.
Yeah, don't mention the gay thing.
I really hope my camera angle's right with me at home here. I hope you're not seeing anything you shouldn't be seeing. That's why I start looking to see, make sure everything's okay there.
Well, it looks a bit suspect because it looks like you're hiding something on the back or that mirror. You know, what are you hiding, Sven?
That is my U2 Joshua Tree album, and it's covering the reflection of the light. That's the mirror.
So you say.
That's exactly what it is. Well, there's actually cameras behind there as well, but you don't tell anyone. Are we live?
Are we live? Oh dear.
Did that last time. Anyway.
Let me press play on this, guys, just for 2 minutes. I just want to have a quick look and see what that was all about. Is it on that one? No, it's on that one there. I'm just going to press play.
Okay, I'm an activist too. Yeah, man. So what we have to do this? Okay, this is a real pork. Okay, so this activism first. This is the Congress. Come on, look at me. I'm not Zapata, but I'm trying to be Zapata. This is the Congress of the most dramatic cities. I think is the most dramatic cities in France, Marseille. It's the perfect weather. Everything's so perfect. But the people is fucked to live in the marriage. No, ¿qué estás haciendo, güey? Just record it.
I am recording it.
Yes? Okay,
Yeah.
don't close it.
I'm not closing it at all.
Everything is
I'm
gonna
just reading.
help.
I'm just reading the comments at the same time. That's why I'm moving my hand.
Okay. I'm very picky. Technology is not mine. So what do we have here? Marseille is a city in France who got more Arabs. But what's Arab in France?
I know what you're talking about.
They fucked so much, the Arab countries, to keep their natural resources. So it's coming back.
No, it's fake.
It's coming back, same as Mexico, same as Bolivia, same as Venezuela. It's coming back. Why?
Because we find a lot of
I'm a poor guy
and a lot of bubbles.
We know so much.
Bubbles in space, come on. And they say some kind of vacuum.
Possibilities.
For the vacuum you need gloves.
No help. Why? Because I'm different. Because I don't want to follow this system. And there are so many.
It is negative.
Have to call this. For what?
Is he drunk?
To be respected.
He seems to
the kids. Many people.
Just to scare us.
Don't watch that video while tripping on acid or something like that.
Yeah, he seemed really weird. Was he? He seemed a little bit drunk.
That's what we thought as well.
I think that painting yourself in toxic liquids like that every day, it's going to probably mess with your brain a little.
Wow.
It's certainly more effective than Vic Rub.
I'll get to watch the rest later. Did you get to talk about Flat Earth to him?
Oh, well, when we met him initially, somebody handed him a leaflet in English, and I went, oh, he started speaking in Spanish, and I thought, oh, is it Spanish? So I handed him one in Spanish. But he didn't seem to want to talk about what was on the leaflet at all. He seemed to just want to talk about his own thing. So.
Right. Okay. So it was all about him, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he all gold?
just the face.
Well, the costume and the face.
Good.
We see them in London, don't we? The same thing. They just...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't manage to convert him. I don't think we didn't, and I didn't spend too much time with him because yes, he did seem to be a little inebriated.
He was
or something.
to inject anyone.
Yeah. So a bright light, but not necessarily a highlight.
He told us he was an activist as well, but I don't think he really knew what we were doing, and I'm not sure what he was doing either.
I'm just having a quick. Let me give a shout out to a few people. Let's do that. I'm sorry, I always miss that, but it's my turn tonight, Sven. You can do it later.
I missed Effie Mowry last night, so read him out first. He'll be upset otherwise. He's already told me off in the Discord. Okay. I'm just kidding. He didn't tell me off, but I did miss him.
I will. Okay, so we have Sven here with us tonight. And then we've got Robin from Lifting the Lid, Ricardo, thank you very much for joining us, Plague Zero, thank you very much for joining us, and Effie Mowry, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us. Clive, always a pleasure, Clive. Did I say Kieran? I've forgotten already. Yeah, Kieran, thank you very much for joining us. We have Amanda, great to see you here, Amanda. Eat 31415. Is that a social security number or something? Why? I'm always curious when I see numbers after people's names.
It's under the mugshot.
Is that what it is? You'll let us know in the chat, Eat. I'm dying to know what that's about. Mr. Mark Sargent has graced us with his agency. Thank you, Mark. And we've got
thanks, Mark.
Karen B's here. Thank you very much for joining us, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
On again sometime, Karen, and you, Mark. Probably towards the end of the tour when I'm absolutely freezing cold in Finland or Oslo. I think Oslo will Oslo be the coldest? I think it might be. I'm just still scrolling down. Who haven't I said hello to? See, there's James. Thank you for joining us, James. Sean, thank you for joining us. And we have Landfest. Thank you so much for joining us. We also have. Is that it? Is everybody here? Have I done everyone? Did it say what he was? Did he say 3.415? Mark said.
Eat pie. It means eat pie.
Of course.
Yeah. And Mark Sargent also said that all the guys back at the agency office say hi back as well. So that's good because I heard that as well because we're all.
Where are the donuts? Where are the donuts?
I've been told Finland is the coldest. Okay, so I need to. Oh, guys, have we got long johns? We need some thermal long johns for when we go up there. Need to get that all.
Make sure you have a spare bottle of gas on board as well.
You're going to have to bring me. Tell me your sizes, Jack and Lisa, and I'll bring some thermal long johns with me.
Well, Dave and I have a pair that we can leave for.
We haven't told people when we're leaving.
Oh,
I think it's time we told you when
Oh,
you're
yes, we have an announcement. Right, so I'm going to put you on let me put you on the up front. Would you like to give your announcement, Dave?
I'm sitting down.
We would. We have, for a variety of reasons, decided that our last day on tour will be Bern in Switzerland on Tuesday. We'll do the full day and then go to the airport and fly back to London on Tuesday night. So part of me had hoped to go the whole way on the tour, and I feel like I still have the energy for it, but it's a long journey, and particularly for Alexander, it's been a long 3 and a bit weeks. It'll be almost 4 weeks by the time we leave. So we.
Longer. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we kind of feel like, given that Jason is joining the tour on the next city after Basel, we feel like with Jack and Lisa, we're handing the bus over in in good health to Jason, and the tour will, continue from strength to strength. So, I mean, we've had an awesome time.
Yeah, well, it's been amazing.
Incredible.
I mean,
aging.
Hopefully, once we're off the van, we can kind of talk a little bit about.
I found some grey hair.
Yeah.
Actually,
about some of the experiences, because we need time to reflect on that, I think. But yeah, we've had an amazing time, and Dave and I thought, well, let's leave on a high. And it seems fitting that we leave when Jason's going to take over. So, and it's it's quite good that he's going to see his tour, our tour, to the end. But it's just the right time, and there's a lot of driving and cold weather ahead, and for Alexander it's probably the best time. He's done so well, but it's time for us to go back. We've got some stuff to try and organize for ourselves, so so we'll leave
like a home.
Like a home. We'll leave with having had the most amazing experience, and
but it'll be a huge wrench. I feel it just saying it in my heart. I do feel like a huge wrench to be leaving the tour, and leaving this kind of little community of folk that are interested and that are contributing their energy to us doing something that we all feel passionate about. So I'm ever hopeful that our efforts are inspiring to new groups of people or individuals who will continue to do similar things. I think it was Dr. LA wrote to me that they'd been inspired by what we've been doing, and I know others have been too. So hopefully we've put a good foot forward and help the cause along. But yeah, I think our time is coming to a close on the bus, and we're going to miss it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to miss it.
We're looking forward to the next evolution of our story, because just like all of you, we've come an awful long way from seeing the world in the way we did and being those kinds of people. We've come an awful long way. We have a long way still to travel, but we want to continue to grow it, particularly the message and the means of delivering the message, because there is something, as I often say to people in the street now, there's something almost biblical about the import, the seriousness of, or the necessity for there to be an awakening, for there to be a truth telling, for there to be a shift in the way we see ourselves, the way that humans see ourselves. Like that young lady today who at such a young age has already given up on her humanity, was incensed, was quite angry with me that I thought that we were higher than animals, and that that we weren't all just equal in this world. It shows how much that the creator's creation has been demeaned. So I want to continue finding ways and working with people to find ways to communicate, whether it be through the music that we've seen on this tour, and dancing, and the poetry, and the general activism and energy, and so on. I want to find a way to continue contributing, but I'll have to be doing it off the bus as of Tuesday next week. So thanks for that.
Yeah. And hopefully it won't be the last day that we may not see you. We might see you for one more day, will we? Possibly, maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're both Andrew and I and Alexander. He doesn't know it yet, but we're all amped for the final day of tour, and
we'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be
I
cheering you
yeah.
in.
When we told Jack and Lisa earlier on that we were time was up, Jack's face was I could tell.
I'm still not quite okay.
Yeah, he's not. He was a little bit disappointed by that, but when I said I'd be there on the last day, I think that assuaged.
It's much better.
Yeah, it's assuaged its sense of loss. I'm touched by that, and it's nice that we've been able to build up this friendship, this relationship rapport. And I'd happily drive on with him. But as I say, it's more than just me here, and I have a responsibility and a duty to my family to put them first. And the flat Earth movement will continue really well, and I will continue to add something to it in the future. But right now, I think, I've got to let you ride on your own, my brother. Well, obviously you got to get alongside, but
We must meet up before we get to London or something. We maybe be able to get hook up and get there together or something like that, for that one day on the 8th of December. I think it's a Sunday, isn't it?
It'll be the Sunday. Yeah. So,
but if we had to meet beforehand, it might mean getting up a bit early for you, Stan.
Yeah. Well, what it is that we've got this this end of you'll see how good Jack's driving is. See how close he can get parked to where I've got in mind. So we decided not to do Speaker's Corner because of I wanted to go out with a bigger bang than Speaker's Corner, and Speaker's Corner would just be all full of trolls and that. So Leicester Square seems to be the place that we will do our last day of activism. So let's see how close you can get there, Jack, without getting the get the camper towed away. We'll see. But yeah, looking forward to the last day. It would be fantastic. We've got a few surprises, a few surprises for you guys as well, and a few surprises for everybody else as well. So we're working on a few things behind the scenes. And no, I'm not going to spill the beans, because it's a surprise, and you'll enjoy it. So what we can do, Sven, see, we might be able to all ride in together. Try and pick you up en route or something. As we come off the ferry and come over. We'll see. Yeah, we work something out. If I have to get somewhere by train, I'll do that or whatever. Meet guys somewhere and then hook up closer to the destination, or if it means staying the night somewhere, I don't know. We'll figure something out. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I wouldn't miss that day for anything, because just to meet you guys again and sort of give you a decent hug. Because last time it was all a little bit rushed and slap dash and all that, and I was nervous because I was thinking my plane was going to crash and all that sort of stuff. So it's the 8th of December, which is, as you say, Sunday. That's when the last day will be.
I was about to offer you a night on accommodation in my place, but I just remembered I don't have a place. So I can't offer you at this point in time. I'm afraid I can't offer you accommodation.
You can have a place in the camper.
Yeah. Well, I would say maybe we can offer you a place when we come through then, Dave. Maybe I can.
There, right. Yeah. For old time's sake, that would be a nice rough night on a night in a camper. That would be good.
Yeah. Party in Hyde Park on the camper.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? As to raise funds, we might be able to let people use the Mark Sargent toilet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, £10. Anybody who comes along gets £10 for a photo. £2 splash and dash. The Toto.
Yeah, we can get Mark to double that hopefully, and then we will. Have your photo with Mark Sargent in our toilet. Yeah.
I might leave that one there. I'll leave if I take all the other stickers down. I just might leave that one there. Whatever. Okay. So just a quick heads up on what's happening next. The guys are off to Monaco tomorrow.
Monaco.
Yes, you're off to Monaco tomorrow. You're going to maybe Monte Carlo and Monaco. But you are, first thing in the morning, you might do a little bit of leaflet dropping in Cannes.
That's right.
So that might be good. So I take it for people to look out for the Trinity 4 channel for that one. First thing in the morning.
I'll do a little go live on Trinity 4, hopefully tomorrow morning. We'll see mid-morning, midday, something like that.
Awesome.
Hopefully earlier, but
Yeah, Mark just said that the agency will be watching you at night, Dave.
They're watching every movement I make. You go to the toilet for a movement, there they are.
What sort of movement? Is that like a bowel movement?
Donald Trump, Trump. Yeah. No, as I said last night, I haven't had to use the camper van for that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so let me get back to it. So, and then you're going to have a day off traveling all the way to Bern in Switzerland. And although the Dave and Andrea and Alexander will be leaving, it will be the last day of activism in Bern, Switzerland. You will be heading off to, what did I say, Basel? That's where you'll be getting your flight from, in Basel.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a flight to Bern.
They would say Basel, but
yeah. Basel. And then we've got another 2 days of traveling for Jack and Lisa. They're going to be heading all the way to Denmark in Copenhagen, where I'll be meeting them. I should be there first thing in the morning, so let's see if they're there before me, or I'll be somewhere all by myself waiting for them, or I could be bringing a friend. That's yet to be decided. I wonder who that'll be. Well, I could do. I could bring a friend. We'll see. I don't know who yet. I'm yet to decide. So names on the postcards, everybody. So if you want to come, give me a shout. You know, I haven't bought my tickets yet. We'll see.
Well, maybe I'll just come back because no, I want to be there, but I'm a real softie, man. I can't be away from my baby boy. I don't think I've been away from him. Maybe a night last year at the UK conference, I was away from him.
And the tour, one night of the tour.
One night on last year's tour. That's the only nights I've been away from him in his life. So yeah, I'm a right softie with that.
Yeah. James is saying it's me. You got to put your name on the postcard, James, if you want to come. Let me after Copenhagen, we'll be having a day off again and making our way all the way to Oslo in Norway. And then we were off to another day off, and then it's off to Stockholm in Sweden. And then we'll be taking a cruise. Weirdly enough, it was the cheapest option to get us to Helsinki. So we'll be taking a ship cruise, which is really extremely cheap. It was, so I decided that we'll leave the motorhome in Stockholm and do the cruise, because it's 1 day there in Helsinki and straight back on the ferry and back again. So we don't need any accommodation or anything. It's just like a 40-hour trip, I believe it is, which works really well. So I think that's what we'll be doing, and then making our way back from Helsinki back to Stockholm, and then Stockholm all the way. I put down 3 days worth of traveling to get back to London. That way we can take it fairly easy and not have Jack racing all through the night, because he will, won't you, Jack? So yes. It's a long tour, and someone just said in the chat that Finland's going to be really cold. So kind of not looking. I'm not really good with cold, but you know, thermals and a lot of layers. I'm sure we'll be okay.
Stock up with a decent vodka as well.
And a decent vodka. I can do that. Yeah, you want to come now, don't you, Sven?
it's saying that. I mean, God blimey, can you imagine that? I mean, oh man. Well, we're in the car together tomorrow, Jason. We can have a chat, can't we?
You know what? You know what? Because I was just saying to Andrea, and these guys don't know yet. Are we still live? So what it was is that on the way back, I figured that because I set aside 3 days worth of traveling, we could pass into Hamburg and Dusseldorf, and that'd work really well if you were there.
What, and do some German stuff?
See, now I've got you thinking, haven't I? Should we leave that tomorrow? Because
you heard it here first. Plans being made to rejoin. Well, where? Hang on a minute. While we're at it, we may as well talk about it now. So where would we? Oh God! So they would be leaving Bern. Andrea and Dave and Alexander leave there. They drive up to Copenhagen. Are we going to meet them? Are you going to meet them in Copenhagen? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm going to meet them. Oh yeah, there's no point me doing that big long trip. I might as well wait till they get there.
Well, yeah. Oh man. Well, I mean, it's when would that be? Next Tuesday? Next Wednesday?
I believe it's Friday. I think it is.
Friday.
Friday?
Friday.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's
Tuesday
Friday.
Bern, 2 days off to drive, and Friday's Copenhagen.
Okay.
So guys,
You want to do it? You want to do it?
So let's say this is 85% a yes, but we're going to have a little think about it on the way up to Birmingham tomorrow, aren't we, Sven?
Yeah, we are, Jason. We are. We're going to have a little chat. I think Birmingham might turn up very quickly because we'll be talking about it. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's an option.
It's an option. Okay, but there could be a third then. At this rate, there's going to be a lot of people coming on this tour for the final leg, guys. How many can we fit in there? How many did we say?
Don't be doing that, Jason. No.
Please,
Don't be doing that.
I'm begging you, please bring 8 people on the
Don't be
camper
doing
van.
that.
Put 8 people on here. Do a week. Yeah.
No way. No
Yeah.
way. No.
Yeah. Please do
No.
it.
No.
And do
No.
it in the cold weather.
Which is
There are
Sven, you're in the middle.
Listen. There are some conditions attached to any decision making here.
You're in the middle.
In the middle of what?
You're in the middle of bed.
I'm just acclimatizing. I've just got used to my teddy again.
We'll talk tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll talk tomorrow.
We will.
So there you go, guys. So when Sven gets into Discord later, you need to give him a little bit of pressure and see how you get on with him. See if he maybe you can tell me in the morning what the outcome was. You know, because I'm sure Amanda's going to give you a bit of pressure tonight and tell you that you're going.
What, in the form of a big Doc Martin boot? Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go.
There we go. Yeah. Well, okay, but just yeah, no.
Yeah, I got a like for the t-shirt today, so I want to say thanks to Howard for giving me his Liars t-shirt.
Show it. Can't really see
You can't see it. Can you see my t-shirt now? If I do this,
it's a beautiful t-shirt. Yeah. Is that the Liars one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, some serious kudos here on the activism front of the Liars t-shirt. So thanks for that, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're recovering and all that's good for you. If you're watching. And also obviously to Dave Murphy. And Lee, of course, all the other boys, gentlemen, men who've come before. Roxanne.
I'm just reading the chat. Oh man.
Yeah, you're getting hit a little bit, aren't you, Sven? Hey.
Oh, Adam, oh my God, how did I forget Adam?
Yes. Well, you'll have to.
The Italian leg. Oh, but they were just paid actors.
They were actors, yes.
Yeah.
Well, they still are actors.
Yeah.
Shills as well. They are shills, clearly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could see the whole thing was staged. It looked so real, it had to be fake.
Yeah.
Okay. I've made a decision. Yeah, I'll come with you.
Bengali. Oh, Bengali.
Have you have that in writing? Can you? I want the contract signed. Come on, hurry up.
Yeah, just put the decimal point in the right place this time.
So sorry, buddy. I can't do it all by myself. I don't know who's Jack and Lisa. I won't be doing it all by myself. I've got you two amazing people to do it with me. But I mean, I've got a lot to learn now because you guys have been on the road. Well, Lisa's been on the road forever. Lisa's the expert here, and Jack's been learning everything he can from Lisa to learn everything that you guys have done so far because I've got I've got huge shoes to fill. Following the Daves? How am I going to manage this? So yeah, so maybe the two of us together, Sven, the pair of us will fill one shoe.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just yeah, we'll be fine. It's okay. All good. The main thing is I can sleep properly. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I say there's a big bed.
And there'll be no 2.5-year-old waking you up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Nah. Yes. Well, come on. That was challenging for everybody, including Alexander.
We could leave a recording, and we could get Jack to put it on every morning at about 8:30, just so that you,
just for old times'
especially that really loud noise that he makes.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Your first night on the van was on the floor on the blow-up mattress, so you had not only the noise, but me taking him outside and your mattress going, doing that kind of tidal thing.
Yeah. Well, that was good. That was worth the entrance fee for any fairground ride. That wake up in the mornings. That was that's great.
Yeah, you look like you were loving it.
I loved it. It was fantastic. No, yeah. Why not? Let's do it. Why not? Yeah, of course. In a way, I look forward to it. It's funny. It's funny, isn't it? When you leave, you sort of want to sort of be back there again. It's very, very strange.
I haven't lived.
But there you go.
That's why I said to Jason, why don't you start like a tour bus experience, and people will pay to come on.
And then
Jack can be the driver.
Yeah.
And he will take you some like hair-raising pin turns.
Yeah.
And he'll park you up at very interesting park stops.
Yeah, places that you would
can
never
go
normally get.
You can pull the cannon as part of the experience. You get to pull the cannon.
Cannon pull. Who's on cannon pull?
Yeah. What else could they experience?
They can have megaphone. They can have time playing with the megaphone.
You can sit in the front seat and wave at the people as they watch you and look at the band.
Yeah. You could be on.
I'm already regretting this. I'm already regretting it. This is not good, is it? And I can't really retract now, can I? So, oh well.
That's it. Yeah,
that's it. It's done.
You told me last time that you were a man of your word, that you never backtrack yet. So well done.
Yeah. No, nice one. Brilliant.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Anyway, so what's it? Amanda just said Sven looks scared. Yeah, he'll be okay in the morning once he's woken up.
Once the shock has subsided, and I start
realizes it wasn't a dream; it was real.
Yeah. I do look scared, Amanda. That's because I am very actually.
Yeah, it does. It looks like Clive just said. Looks like you got Jack. You've got a driving job for the rest of your life. Yeah, it looks like we've got. We'll have to go into business now, eh? Jack. Like I'll. I've provided the bus, and you can. You can now. Take them all around the country and.
That's a brilliant idea.
It seems like that.
Go on, yeah.
Yeah, forever.
No, it won't last forever.
What the bad word?
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope it doesn't last forever. I want this bloody.
You're doing that's it. That's it, Papa.
Yeah.
It's overtime.
So people can start applying.
Yeah. Jack has a theme tune which we sing whenever it's time to move. On the road, Jack. Don't you look back no more, no more. That's what we sing when it's time to roll.
It's flat, Jack. Do. It's never full. There you go. Right, so I'll have to say, guys, look, all of this going on. Now we have to pay for Sven to rejoin the tour. So, hint.
Yeah, I think it's Sven. You got to do a little shout out, mate, because you do run a little rich when it comes to.
Yes, Sven. Come on, short Sven. Because we could definitely do with some funding now to get you back on, because you eat loads.
and I deprive everyone of oxygen with my sharp intake of breath during my snoring process. So on that note, to not only feed us but also save the immediate climate within the container that is the van, closed container, of course. If it was open, then, you know, we'd all be dead instantaneously. Then please do donate to the following PayPal link if somebody's there and could throw it up on the screen. I can't see the chat on my phone, which is a bit quicker in time than my iPad, which is here. It's delayed by a minute, I think.
By the way, this is Roxanne, by the way. This is me. So just when people, you know, because every time I donate using Roxanne's name, everyone thinks Roxanne's just joined.
Yeah, okay. So we got the GoFundMe on there and also the PayPal links in the chat. So that's good news. So if we could just sort of keep it going. We had a conversation about this on Discord a couple of days ago. Wouldn't it just be nice if we had, and we on the van as well, wouldn't it be nice if we could just have a constant flow of small amounts of money that just keeps us going, keeps the petrol in the tank, you know, keeps the gas bottles filled up, and basically keeps the crew happy, because when you've got the crew happy and they're well fed and everything else, and they feel like they're wanted and looked after, then you'll find the productivity goes up no end. Yes. So, you know, it's a win-win situation for everybody. It'll be great to be able to come into London on the 8th of December with a couple of quid to spare, you know, but if not, fine. But it'd be nice to not have to worry about getting round. So yeah, please do bear that in mind and sort of put in a couple of pennies here or there. You know, every little helps. It really does. And that's why I'm saying that Kieran Franny has just put in 10 Australian dollars. So thank you very much indeed, Kieran, for your support as always. And anybody else, you know, please do donate, because no matter who's on the van, it needs to reach its finishing point, and that will be in London. So, you know, we need all the help we can get. Now that I'm on there, I don't plan on just eating Rivita every day either. So come on, a couple of quid, please.
Yeah,
And we're so close as well. We're really close. And I've been going over the funds of what's actually needed. We've nearly done it. We really have nearly done it. We're so close. I won't go into the exact figures here, you know, like tonight, but we're nearly there. I can imagine once we get to up north and that, it's just trying to get us back. Once we get up to Stockholm. Once we get to Stockholm, we just need to get us back to London. But before we do go, I'm afraid that I'm going to try my best to see if I can raise it myself. But we never did put them front tires on, and we have to put on them front tires. And Jack, you're going to have to really go out your way to try and make that happen tomorrow or something. You know, we must have them 2 front tires put on, and you know, it's a long trip, and it's just for safety. It's a long way for you to go. We need to get them done.
The thing is, you're going to be traveling we're going to be traveling a big chunk of motorway in Germany.
Tomorrow,
my experience of Germany is that they will, at some stage, they're very hot on the motorway police over there, because it's a motorway country. It's covered by a motorway, you know. And so you've got to be really careful. If they pull you over and they check those tires, that'll be it. It will be stopped right there.
Yeah, we'll get
is it
that.
not worthwhile, you know, if we can get there on our day off, or before we do Bern, just because Switzerland might be a little bit better equipped for sort of that kind of tire rather than the south of France.
Yeah, definitely on the day off. Well, your day off traveling is on the Monday, so I think that it should be done then, shouldn't it? Because I think you're going to struggle getting tires on a Sunday. So there you go. Now we know what we're doing Monday. I'll try and work out where you're going to be, and I'm going to phone up a few places for you, Jack, and see that you can just roll in there and have some tires ready for you.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jason. And thanks to Daniel Kruger, who's in the chat. I see he lives out in Portugal, and he came out to our Lisbon activism, him and his partner, and they were really good. But they also made a very generous, kind offer to help Andrea and I out with a place to stay for 6 months out in Portugal. I'm not sure we're able to take advantage of that kind of offer, but it's staged. But I just wanted to put that out there to say, hey, man, that's a really nice thing.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that, Daniel. So hi from me as well, Daniel. Sorry, I didn't. Well spotted there, Dave.
It's that, Daniel. He just made a suggestion that the van picks people up in Lisbon. This van picks people up in Lisbon, and they do activist community experiences at the Merkaba community.
Merkaba is a community that he has sort of set up.
So it's definitely something to look at and talk about. So it's interesting.
I caught half of that.
Sorry, is Alexander cutting in there?
No, I couldn't acoustically hear it. That was all. But I presume it's about using a van for activism in Portugal, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. To set up some kind of community activity to take the activism to a different level, a different angle. After you, brother.
Yeah, nice.
Just a little bit of shifting around.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just spotted your donation, Clive. Thank you very much, Clive, for that. And again, thank you very much also, Kieran, for your donation. Thanks a lot. Sorry.
Apologies to Kieran because I keep pronouncing his surname wrong. So I still don't know whether it's Franny or Franny or however else you pronounce it. So I'll just say Kieran from now on. I still haven't worked that one out yet.
Yeah. So I think then should we call that a night then? We've just done over an hour.
Do you know that in Canada, fanny is bum. Your bum is a fanny in Canada.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a funny thing because my grandma, she spent a lot of years in Canada, and so she used to refer to your butt as your fanny. And of course, in other communities, that's something completely different. Well, close, but different.
I see people are putting in the chat, Daddy! Daddy! Yes.
Yeah.
We all experience Zizi. Daddy! It shall be missed, I'm sure.
I've never been to Copenhagen.
No. So street activism at a local flea market. That'd be interesting. Is that being filmed? That'd be interesting because I did actually think of doing. We've got car boot sales, and I was actually thinking of doing that myself. Having a stall instead of a store selling stuff, but a car boot sale might sell a few flat earth badges or something. Like just to say that they are selling.
You know how he did it? He won't mind me disclosing this, but what he did was he was told he had to sell something. So he got himself a big jar or bucket or whatever of pennies, gave away free pennies, and then sold the leaflets for a penny a piece.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so I guess it's I mean, he's been doing that now for a few weeks, and we hear some feedback from him in the Discord.
Yeah.
And he's, that takes some cahoots to do that on your own, But now I think he's been doing it with one or two others as well.
Yeah.
I've seen some photos. Seems to be working really well. So, they're putting their money where their mouth is as well by actually getting out there and doing stuff, which I think is excellent.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I think watch this space. I think I'll have a go at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he deserves credit. He's one of the really humble ones, and he deserves all the credit he could possibly get, and the coverage as well, and an inspiration to all the others, or to everyone, myself included.
Yeah, guys. Right. So let's start thinking about wrapping that up. I'm just having a quick.
Jason, there was a donation from Landvest, €3.
Landvest, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm looking.
Thank you, Landvest. Much appreciated.
Yes, just come in. Thank you very, very much for that.
To the chat. Oh, you guys are going to Sweden, so you're going to have to get the ABBA thing going. I think.
Oh, right.
I'm going to buy an ABBA CD. Yeah.
That has to happen.
They'll all think I speak Swedish when they know my name is Sven, because it's a Swedish name, but I haven't got a clue. I don't speak a word of Swedish.
Yeah.
And Jason looks a bit Swedish with that blonde kind of stature of yours. So yeah, you guys are going to do well in Sweden. Just I think the ABBA cover stuff, work on it.
Who was AHA?
Norway. Norway. Yeah.
I used to like
So
that.
we've covered Norway and Sweden. What about Denmark? Did they have anybody famous in the music world? Denmark? Top of our heads? No, not really.
Anyone in the chat?
Finland? Anybody famous from Finland? No. There we go. Answers on a postcard, please.
Is the world's strongest man from Finland?
No, Denmark.
Denmark? Anybody in the pop business or anything? So we had ABBA and we had AHA, but we haven't got Denmark covered.
Well, we'll have to do a little Trivial Pursuit in the next 24 hours.
There you go. What a way to win a pint.
York. She wasn't from one of those.
I'm just looking now. I don't know any of them. Oh, Wickfield. Danish is what's the name? Wickfield. She was,
right.
Danish. Yeah, there's not a lot of names there that I know. There is quite a few, but they're obviously Danish.
So, they got some quite good cartoonists out there, didn't they? Get themselves into a little trouble by depicting a certain character. Danish cartoons of Muhammad.
All right.
Isn't I don't know about Bjork. Does anybody know where Bjork from? Is she from Iceland?
Iceland, isn't she?
Iceland.
There's another super chat donation.
James, UK 2222. Thank you very much, mate.
All right.
Thanks for your videos, always. They make a huge difference. I think they're really powerful because
they're good.
People don't have hours necessarily to absorb all of that activism. So to be able to catch a 15-minute or a 10-minute, short and sweet is really useful. And hopefully those get shared around by other folk who are watching this. Make sure you go to James's channel and share them on to the Facial Book and other social media.
I don't know what's going on there. Sorry, James's channel, he hasn't got a lot of subscribers, and he's done some amazing work for us and that, and I really don't understand, he should have an awful lot by now.
I think that's YouTube playing silly buggers, I reckon, because I know a lot of people have subscribed with him, including myself. He should have way more on there.
Yeah, it's really odd, isn't it?
I mean, it's kind of sobering, but 3 weeks on the tour, and I think I've gained 120 subscribers. So it's not like we're not in the monster subscriber business here.
No.
That's cool.
No,
so you can't be in it subs.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it's just an indicator that this message is getting out there. It's an indicator, and the problem is that you are right, Sven. YouTube are playing, funny buggers, and you see, you're in the dark of how successful, it is being, getting out there. We are in the dark because I'm sure it's better than we think.
It also reinforces the need for this to be shared more broadly around social media platforms, and also for us to be offline and doing it in the streets and stuff, because we know for sure that YouTube is holding the reins on this, and so a lot of our efforts are being prohibited or prevented from reaching new ears. So it's important for us to share this stuff around as widely as we can. And I think, like the David Weiss stuff where he does the 5-minute clip and so on, and these short ones are great for some of these other platforms where people don't have a lot of time to watch all of this stuff. So the word is that Adam's in the chat.
Adam's in the chat. Globebusters is in the chat.
Bob the Globebusters in the chat as well.
Bob's in the chat, yeah.
Just by the way, Bob, and not to say hi, but your big old sticker on the back of the van is one of those that I know catches people's attention. It's just
absolutely
such a clear whoa, what, and so people really take note of that one. I'm really glad it's there. Actually.
Yeah, it's a good sticker.
Yeah, because sometimes I think that the van, it says a lot to us, but to the odd person who's going past, for whom English isn't their first language, is there enough? And I think the Globebusters logo is one of those really kind of eye-catching.
Yeah.
Oh, what? You know, so yeah, it's nice to have your logo on the van, mate.
Yeah.
Apparently Aqua was a Danish group and they sang Barbie Girl.
Oh,
That was
wow. Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. I'm getting earache now just thinking about it.
That's social programming for you right there. You know, how many young
Right.
girls saw that and want to be like a little Barbie girl and grow up to be like a 25-year-old prima donna with nails 6 inches long and a pink phone with, you know, jewels on it and all that sort of crap. You know, that's, yeah, don't use them.
Mm.
Yeah. Different one. Okay. Well, don't drop the chat now. Anyway, hi Adam. Really nice to
Yeah, Adam.
have you there, mate.
Right, guys. On that note, thank you very much for joining us this evening, and hope all goes well in the morning. So, for you guys in the chat, was it Dave and the crew will be on the streets of Cannes first thing in the morning. So head over to Trinity 4's channel, and then after that they'll be making their way to Monaco, possibly over to Monte Carlo in Monaco, possibly.
Oh yeah, it's going to be the Global Eye Grand Prix tomorrow.
Global Grand Prix.
Global Eye Grand Prix.
Yeah. Can one of you please, can one of you get out and film? You know the hairpin corner. Can one of you get out and film that as it goes round? I really would like that.
We will definitely.
Yeah, we'll
that
get that
will be a moment, definitely.
But please, will someone else drive? I don't want Jack speeding around there. He's not allowed to speed. Let him.
Oh no, I think the hairpin it'll mean all like the groceries and all the other stuff. Oh man.
People in the chat are asking Lisa if they can have a link to her music somehow. So we need to start getting some of Lisa's music out a little bit. We've maybe put some on the Discord as well. But it's turned a lot of heads, that's for sure. A lot of heads.
Yeah.
Lisa.
I've got different things in different places. I've got lots of different, like I've got like my SoundCloud, which is my name, and that's got 2 songs on it, which is Lisa Teneri, CENERI, and then I've got like a kind of YouTube. It's only got 2 videos on it and hardly any subscribers. Where I've got the Amy Winehouse cover song.
Bob's just asking from Globebusters, what's the name of your channel?
Sorry?
What's the name of your channel that people can look at to get most of your stuff?
Well, actually, like the Royal Poet channel has got some stuff on it already, but I haven't actually put the Amy Winehouse song on there yet. So I'm going to keep that as the main channel, but I just need to add lots of things on it. But I haven't had the She needs time to consolidate, is what she's saying. So one of them is the Royal Poet channel, which hasn't got that song on it, but they will have. Or there's SoundCloud that's got a couple of songs on it. Or there's the Real Hat Fits. If you search that, that's the real in 2 words, Hat Fits, which is an anagram of the Earth is flat. I was going to keep that as a kind of more flat Earth orientated channel. But I've only got 2 songs, 2 videos on there.
What was it called again? The Real Hat or the Real?
The other one, with my Fat Earth poetry on it, is the realhatfix.blogspot.com, which is
The Real Hat.
Yeah. Amanda's put it in the chat.
The Real Hat.
Oh, lovely, brilliant. Okay, my ears are playing up.
They can help you with a few places.
Cool, thanks, Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda's saying you need an album. Globebusters is saying I have a big crush on Lisa ever since I heard her sing. So
Thank you, James.
Lisa's going to have to release something.
I've got many different things that I've got drafts of. I just need to record them properly, and I've got lots of ideas. I continuously generate ideas of like kind of cover songs or like parody songs, but you know, with Fat Earth lyrics or other lyrics. I've got many ideas, but I just need time to sit down and to record them properly.
In the chat, Jason, Cold Steel Truth said Maori
I asked Dave a fortnight ago what was the hardest FE question he found to answer from ballers. He asked for 24 hours for a reply. He's not had one.
Oh dear.
Oh, sorry, mate. You know, I've been thinking about that on and off since that day. You know.
Okay.
He hasn't got a
I still
reply.
don't really.
We'll give you 5 minutes.
Shit, man. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you, brother. I should do better.
Okay, tomorrow. Leave it till tomorrow.
All right, man.
Adam Meekin just donated
He did?
£5,000.
£5.
Adam Meekin
£5.
donated £5. This is something for more fruit. I can't see.
More fruit, yeah, thanks. Did you see my video of Alexander eating fruit earlier? He was tucking into some berries. What a treat. Thank you for your contributions. They make a huge difference, and to be able to buy my boys some fresh fruit like that, priceless. Well, absolutely for me.
So yes, thank you, Adam. It says, in case you need more berries and fruit. Thank you, Adam. £5.
Yeah. Awesome. Right, guys. Can we call up? I'm going to say it again. Should we call it a night? We've got what's it? 4 minutes or 5 minutes of James's to watch. Hi, Cammy. Cammy's just joined us as well. Oh, see, people are joining us now. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay on for another hour?
So we're going to the meetup tomorrow in Birmingham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why don't you talk about your schedule, and yeah, let's talk
Say that
about
again?
Sven. So let's tell us about your day, Sven. Tell us about your schedule.
I wasn't going to. Didn't want to say really. So I was just doing a John Motson.
Well, yeah, it's still raining here, by the way, and I think we're not stopping right here, are we? We are literally hanging off the side of the globe. We are hanging on the side of the globe. I'm sure that gravity hasn't, or no, relativity hasn't yet rightened us, but I feel like I'm falling off the side.
Well, it's just as well I'm not going to cook, because then I don't have to.
Andrea cooked us a meal. Sven, it was probably one of the better ones we've had thus far. So when we came in from the cold this evening, there was already a hot stew, pie.
Nice.
I mean,
no
pie, just stew. Veg stew waiting for us.
Well, actually,
lovely. And she made garlic bread, Adam. She made us a garlic bread, which I think it's in Italy the last time she made garlic bread when you were here. So it was reminiscent of that meal we had with you, my friend.
Yeah.
Speaking of Adam, I hope your all your home things are all settling down, and your sister-in-law is doing okay and stuff like that. So yeah. What else can I say about my day? Oh, I got evicted from a restaurant today. All I wanted to do was have a Donald Trump. I just wanted to go and sit down on the porcelain establishment there that they had. Hey, what is it with the French and toilet seats? They don't bother a lot with toilet seats in France, which is curious and slightly uncomfortable, actually. I mean, I prefer having a fuller seat than the rim of the porcelain. I think that's a bit of a strange thing. Have you come across that much?
Is that how low this chat's come to be talking about toiletries?
I think it's frozen. I've frozen them.
Yeah. They've got so bored with you, they are.
It has frozen.
Oh, no, he's just still. I just seen him blink.
Are you worried? Where else am I going to take this conversation?
Yeah, I think I need to.
All right. Well, no, it was a good day in Marseille, actually, and it's quite a big city, pretty ugly from the outside. But it was an interesting bay. It was an interesting harbour. The water actually lapped right up to the edge of the quay. It was quite.
Can I say something about Jupiter and Venus, which made people were very.
Yeah, but people won't be able to hear you. You need to come closer. Andrew wants to say something about.
Well, can I just say something quick first? Adam just put in another £5 for a bottle of Monte Pulciano. £5.
That sounds like
It might be £5 over there, Adam, but really over here, I think you got to do better than that. £5, come on.
you don't want us drinking the cheap stuff, do you?
God, we're going to start thinking breakfasts now.
Brexit?
Breakfasts.
Oh, yeah. Did we have breakfast this weekend? No, we just drove on.
Right. So
well, I guess we'll call it quits, I suppose.
Yeah. Does anyone want to say any final words before I quickly end?
No.
Talk about Okay.
No.
I've got other ones where there's no seat at all, no toilet, just a hole in the floor.
Oh god, I'll have to say, because the French used to do all of that. I don't know if they still do, but no, it wasn't the French. It was the French and Italy. I had two occasions. One was in Italy, and it was, as you say, it was a hole in the ground, but with two sort of like imprints of where your feet should be.
Yeah, like handy guides. This is where you need to stand.
Yeah, that's weird. And the other one was, it was in France, and it was an outdoor man's toilet, and it was like a figure of 8 where you had a urinal on each of the circles, and the barrier, oh god, the blind, whatever you want to call it, only goes up to about your chest, so that as you're having a pee and you're in the middle of the town, everyone's just walking by, and you're having a pee, and there's another guy opposite you, and you're looking at him in his eyes having a pee while people are walking by. Oh, really, so off-putting. Yeah, really weird stuff.
We truly are quite an evolved group, aren't we? This is where we've come to with all this modernity. Someone truly said to me today that the faster you spin, is this what centripetal force is?
I think he got that back in front, didn't he?
In the chat, this guy says to me today, but that's centripetal force. The faster you spin the ball,
goes
the
out.
more the water is actually going to be pulled to the ball.
Yeah.
This is. Am I right? This is
back
how
to front. Yeah, because it was. I mean, if it was contained, as you say, in a bucket, then you're right. I mean, like, then the centrifugal force would go to the edges of the bucket, But if it was on a ball and you were spinning it, then it would just fly off, wouldn't it? So it was back to front.
But it's so logical and common sense that but words somehow get in the way of that. And I'm fairly sure that as a child, this is where I went wrong in junior school, was that my teacher was insisting the spring in the bucket were what gravity was, and it was going to work just like that. And I really got into a lot of trouble with school after that, I think. But I went along with it in the end. And this kid was absolutely certain that the faster you spun the ball, the more water was actually going to start being pulled into it.
Yeah.
This is what we're dealing with. We deal not with we deal with principalities and not with flesh and blood.
I noticed in the chat earlier. Sorry, I can't remember who was talking about it. They were talking about some of the chat that goes on when we're live streaming, doing the activism, and that again, some people's commentary is not always very kind when it comes to the members of the public that we're trying to inform. So Dave spoke about it the other night, just a reminder that the people we're talking to are our brothers and sisters at the end of the day, and surely the reason we're out there is to try and help, and we've got to do that with humility and compassion, and not be
from a place of understanding.
Yeah, a place of understanding that we were once there, and it's
not only we were once there, but the brainwashing or the system is so total. How can they expect them to see it? Because you can.
And you said the other day, Jason, you don't want someone to just get it like that. You want them to go away and start using their critical thinking so that they can, they can work it out for themselves. So when they're having that first conversation or discussion, you know, we need to understand that it's when the cog starts turning or the seed gets planted. So yeah, just a reminder to people in the chat, and I suppose if other people see the chat and people are being less than respectful, that we remind them that, you know,
We want to hold ourselves to a higher standard
this is supposed to be, you know, a good thing we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. They are not our enemy.
No.
Well, we're one. We are one, and
absolutely, of course, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
but because they cannot see or are not ready to see, or as you know, and it takes a time to see, even if you know you've been looking at these things for a while. We should not be scornful of that.
No.
Actually, I think it actually demeans the essence of this whole truth journey that we're on. You know, is that we're moving towards a higher kind of insight, a higher insight, and a higher insight is not going to be one that's still behind in the kind of look at the troglodytes behind me.
Well, because it's self-righteous
as well, yeah. And I think also we were talking about night and day, dark and light, and bright and not, I suppose. And I think perhaps this world is fated to have the spectrum of consciousness, if you like, and you know, people we're meant to try and move ourselves onto the higher spectrum of consciousness, but we will have a spectrum, and just because you can run fast doesn't mean that you should laugh at those who can't.
Everyone needs their own time as well. You know, we can't force feed, and we can't put ourselves on pedestals either. You know, we're there to share the information that we have and let people go and find out for themselves in a way. You know, that's.
Well, I mean, you know, it's people always talk about, oh, the trolls, you know, and they're giving us a hard time. Well, you don't really, you know, it doesn't really show us in a very good light if we're doing that to the very people we're trying to help.
But they do test you at times, yes, indeed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is what we're supposed to be learning.
Yeah, but we're only human, right? You know.
Yeah, I mean, it'll always remain an interesting and fascinating conversation to try and unpick why it is that the brainwash lasts so much longer or has washed in so much deeper for some folks as opposed to others. The why and the wherefore of that is an interesting conversation piece, and one that if you're ever around the table with us, we could have.
We had one of those earlier. We had Max, the
Max from Marseille.
Visitor from Marseille, and we were talking about just that, you know, that perhaps you know, goes back to that whole thing that we need there to be a certain level of people who don't wake up. But more importantly, it's just, you know, if we've got to be respectful, and you know, there's a sticker in the van that says the answer is love, and you know, we've got to be loving when we're spreading the truth, and not.
Well, we don't got you, but we should aspire to that.
Aspire to.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. As long as our intentions are the right intentions, yes, every now and then I'll get triggered, or I might say something out of turn, or might get my words in a muddle, or might get over enthusiastic, over emotional, whatever, or take it a bit too personally if the response isn't how I would like it to be. But yeah, we endeavor to do it the kind way, of course, because that is how we want to live as well. That's surely, we have to practice what we preach, right?
Hopefully we can be good examples for the people in the chat then when they're doing the live, and they can
absolutely
do the same, because it was just a comment that was made that someone had noticed in the live stream chat that, and I know Lisa has come back and said, you know, the people in there saying things that are unkind, and you know, I think it's the nature of the beast, unfortunately, but yeah. If we can kind of keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it comes with the territory, like we were mentioning earlier. That's the way it is, isn't it? We have to just take the rough with the smooth on that one, but at the end of the day, we do what we do best, and that is the intentions are good to bring over this message. You know what I mean? What else can we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's just a constant. I think it's actually what we're doing is right. Is that we're constantly, we're not constantly, we're looking to raise our game. You know, we're looking to evaluate how we played, what we've done, and where we can continue to do it better. And I know that there's going to be new ideas, new initiatives, new players, new energy to take this on from where we are, and we need to be seeking that of ourselves. You know, we're raising our game here. We're not just like, oh well, we found the flat Earth, and we're going to just sit back and be the same kind of souls that we were when we were on a giant Vatican inflated testicle. So I'm just saying that I know that I've got work to do, but I've done so much work in coming to a much more peaceful place with this, and I want to encourage other people to come to a more peaceful place with your brethren who are on the blind side.
Before we go, Dave, for those who have joined us in the chat, do you want to quickly announce what your announcement was, just in case those who have not heard that?
Those who come later on, Andrea, Alexander, and I decided that we were going to do a few more cities and then call the tour 2019 quits, other than the last day. So our final day actively on tour is Tuesday at Basel.
Well, we're leaving for Basel.
Sorry, Bern is the city we're
Bern.
doing the activism in, and then out of Basel on Tuesday. It's been a fantastic ride, incredibly draining, but also it's thrilling. Kind of sad to be leaving, but for Alexander's sake, at the very least, I think it's time for us to let someone else, a couple of others, join the crew here and take the cold miles on through Scandinavia. But we've had an awesome journey, and we'll say goodbye. Over the next few days, we'll.
Yeah, obviously, like everybody that's left, there's those mixed feelings there, where it's like, getting off the bus is going to have some positives, like sleeping.
Not necessarily sleeping in the same clothes I've been working in all day, kind of thing.
A few others. But obviously there's the things that we've gained from being on here, and one of them is definitely the bonding experience you have with people you share this very small space with. So we shall
and the bonding experience we've had with people online,
and the donations and the kind words and the oh my goodness me, it's been such a humbling experience, and one that I'm so grateful to have had. So we'll leave with happy
and
hearts.
I mean, on a personal note, I know that for me, last year's activism that started at Speaker's Corner was like the starting gun for me in a way. I realized on that day that I had a role to speak. I felt like in the year preceding that I wanted to start talking, but we had Alexander just come along and the opportunity never came. And when it did come, I saw a little bit like Jack here, like, wow, there is a need for, people like me. And so to say that this tour, last year's tour with Harry and Jason, and now this year's tour, for me was an important stepping stone in trying to grow from a sort of, a new paradigm. Start from zero and build something up that hopefully is going to help the human story and and maximize my skills. We were talking about it with Alex, the music man, about your skills, the complement of your skills. I mean, this guy here is an example of that. The complement of his skills has brought him to this point with everything he needs to do what he's meant to do, and I feel like this was an important step for me. So I'm grateful to have had this time. But watch the space. There's more to come.
Alexander is saying, Daddy, less talking, less talking. Oh, thank you, Adam. I'm just reading the message. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. I have to say, I know this is gonna. I'm not trying to be all soft and whatever, but I'm so proud of my husband. Oh, I watch him doing activism, and he has grown so much since he started. Yeah, I just filled with pride when I see him out there. So, yeah.
Thank you, darling.
Pleasure.
Well, there you go. A little on-screen action.
Yep. So moving on, I think just for those who didn't hear, Sven's got an announcement as well. Go for it, Sven. It's you on Friday.
Why don't you just zoom in with yeah, we've decided, against my better wisdom, of course, that I'll rejoin the tour in Copenhagen. So I don't know all the fine details, but I imagine I'll be going over with Jason at some stage and then joining the van in Copenhagen. I've never been there, so that's fab. And then we'll do the Scandinavian thing, and hopefully I can, well, no, not hopefully, I will then stay with the van until we arrive in London on the 8th of December. So that saves me a train journey from Bournemouth to London. I'll just do it the long way. How about that?
How about that? You only
Don't
get one
forget the Long Johns.
I won't forget my Long Johns, and I'll bring some extra baked beans as well, because that also helps with the temperature.
No, you don't need to do that.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're there as well, Jay. Sorry, mate.
He's quite a cuddly guy, so he'd be warm enough to be.
Well, you know. But I've also got added to that a nice little announcement to make, and that is that our friend Tommy, aka That Flat Fellow, has also ensured that we have the funds for the tyres, and he's sending it. They're on their way now. He's just written to me.
Oh,
so
wow,
so
that's
that's
amazing.
so that will be about $150, which will cover the tyres.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Really,
and I said, because he was unsure whether I would announce it, and then we both agree it might be worthwhile announce it, just to put people's minds at ease and have a bit of good news, a little injection of good news as well, just to add to the fact that I'm going to be joining at some stage. But no, that's good, great news. Thank you again, Tommy, for your help on that one. You really, really, really are such an amazing supporter of this tour. You have been right from the start, and you've stuck true to your word, and you're doing it out there on the streets as well. What a guy. So thanks, and I needed to get that out there. Brilliant news.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's we're going to finish. We're that close. You know, like who would have thought, you know, that we'd get this far? You know, like once we got, I don't know, maybe to Athens or something, you know, like if we run out of funds at Athens or so, I was still in my mind to say that, well, we had a good run, that was good enough, you know, like, and it just went on and on and on, and we've done amazing. I say,
well, I wouldn't, I'll be honest with you, right, Jace, and this might be a bit of food for thought as well. I wouldn't rejoin the tour if I didn't think we'd make it to the end, but because I know that the people who are involved in all this and who follow us on this are also just as determined to see us make it to the end as we are.
Yeah.
It would be irresponsible of me not to rejoin, because I feel it would be a bit too thin on bodies anyway if there wasn't an extra person there, and I'd like to rejoin. And now that I know that we have the backing and people will help us and we'll get to the end, it's definitely worth that extra shove from me as well. So yeah, I think it's good news all round. I think we'll be absolutely fine, but it doesn't mean to say we can take our foot off the gas. That's important that we keep the pressure on a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one as well. Robert Sims says, what's he say? He says, "Rock on, Tommy." I haven't heard that say for a long time.
He's amazing, really good stuff.
Brilliant. Yeah, right, guys. On that note, let's. Can we go now? Let's call
it a day, huh? I think the Trinities want to get their head down as well. It's an hour later there than it is here as well.
Say goodbye, motorhome crew.
Bye. See you in Monaco.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. See you soon.
See you at Cairns tomorrow, Trinity 4. Check it out.
We're checking it out. I've seen some
from
mate.
one beach to another beach, 10 miles away, 20 miles away. We can see a spotlight or a laser from 6 foot high to someone standing at 6 foot high. Now at 20 miles, they say there should be 300 feet of curvature in the whole Earth. So this is their maths coming back to bite them on the butt. Because what stopped me was I have all the theories that you have, all the ideas about how a globe can work. But actually, when we look at the natural physics of water, we know that water must be contained. And when it comes to its rest, it's level, such that it's like a mirror. And that mirror, as we've been able to prove, is leveled from one end of the Suez Canal to the other, which is 120 miles. So any lake you can get to, we know that the beach on the other side of the lake is going to be at the same height as my feet.
Have you been in there? Because you can actually see the coast.
A lot of people say that, but Neil deGrasse Tyson, well-known believer, cult leader, scientist.
He was on the Joe Rogan show.
Yeah, he says you can't even 120,000 feet isn't high enough. He says that Red Bull jump that Felix Baumgartner did, they used a fisheye lens to simulate a globe. There's no way that was the globe. When you look from the outside of the cupola, you can see everything's level. So when we get to 120,000 feet with our own cameras, we see that everything is still level.
My question is, why would anybody lie? What's the benefit?
Well, that's a big leap. That's a big leap. But I'll go there with you. Why would they lie?
What's the purpose of it?
Some people say simply to steal money from people because NASA costs $50 million a day. I say there's much more going on than simply the enslavement of the human energy. I think it's actually something more spiritual, actually, more divine.
I guess I don't believe that global institutions are competent enough to keep alive from people like this.
I used to think the same. I used to think exactly the same. And I think that in most cases, most people don't know that they're actually perpetrating a lie. The scientists, the professors, and so on. I mean, think about religions. I assume you don't believe in all of the religions, or even any of them, right? But the preachers of those religions, they truly believe, for the most part, I think that they truly believe in what they sell or what they offer, right? They believe that. So the scientists who've gone on and believed gravity and relativity, got A in class and went on to become a professor, they truly believe that that theory on its own is enough to support this. Plus, obviously, the imagery we have from NASA. The NASA moon landings, that sealed it for a lot of people. The mobile phone industry, or the data industry, said that 99.5% of all data is undersea. A very small amount goes to satellites, and none of our phones are triangulating through satellites. If you think your mobile phone is touching the satellite, where?
So if you're away from about radius, then you're seeing a partial eclipse, but you're not seeing it perfectly aligned because you're not directly behind the moon's light or the sun.
Well, if the only source of light is the sun, and the moon was exactly the same size, because that's what they say, it's 400 times further away than the sun.
Yeah, it matches during the...
So it matches perfectly. So when it completely includes the sun, then it should throw a shadow bigger than itself out from it. And if we're the Earth inside of that shadow, then an entire Earth should fall into shadow, not just 7.
Okay, keep it flat.
Bye.